Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Galactic Reviews. This is part two of the Bad Batch, which reviews episodes 3 and 4. And basically, in these two episodes, it's just going through their viewpoint of them just on the run from the new Empire. So, not much else except for some character development between Omega and the rest of this team. So, let's just go right into the discussion for that.
So these next two episodes were kind of interesting and tried to raise some questions about what's going to happen with the show. Particularly with the fourth episode, there was a little bit of interesting things happening. I'm not going to say it until we do spoilers, but I'm very interested in where this path is going.
It always leaves me with a sense of
What's
wanting
next?
more
Yeah,
because I never know what their next step is going to be. Then again, I am not as well knowledged as you and Payson are in this.
All I know is I am more than 2,000 credits. I'm worth way more than 2,000 credits.
Well, he
anyway.
was. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm probably about three, just three
Three
credits, not
credits?
even. Yeah, if I'm lucky.
I'll give the next two episodes I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go down to 8. And the reason for that is there's a lot of stuff that is coming forward that is very interesting, but it just feels kind of bland right now. It feels like
Yeah,
they're trying to build up to something.
it feels like filler
Yeah, it feels like a little bit of a filler right now.
with
For me,
some
these
character
were
development.
Yeah.
these were just kind of like mediocre episodes. Like they don't really pertain to the whatever plot they're reaching. The big bad guy versus good guy
Just trying to
debacle. They're
help you
just
get
surviving.
attached. Help
This
you
is
Yeah.
get
just
attached
a
to characters. Yeah,
life in the day of the Bad Batch sort of
pretty
episodes
much.
where we get to know them more. So they're kind of mediocre comparatively to the first two. Because I wasn't for the first one. I like the show. I didn't finish the Clone Wars. I don't even think I got like an introduction into the Bad Batch. I didn't get that far enough, but I
Yeah,
like
that's
the
not till season 7.
Yeah, we
yeah.
both missed that.
Yeah. But
So,
I like Wrecker.
Yeah, my bad.
I like what they're doing with Omega. I love the voice. Whoever's playing Omega. I love what they're doing with it. It's just fun to listen to. But I like the dynamic of the crew. Completely foresaw Crosshair going on. I loved the bit with hold on. I had to mute my Amazon Echo because whenever I had to mute my Amazon Echo during the show because anytime they talk to Echo, she would be listening and all of
did
a
you
sudden
say
would respond
something?
just like I did not understand that. I don't think I can do that. And so I'd had to mute my Amazon Alexa during the show because it responds to Echo and not Alexa for me. So
I
that was fun. But also, yes, episode 4 was definitely really interesting. Episode 3 really clued into me what Omega might be. And my theory
you
is
say
that,
clue, do you mean enhancement or
yeah, like what her enhancement
okay.
is that she can like mimic. And it's not so, or like she's just like super learning. Not so much as like she's an amalgamation of everyone. It's just she can pick up their talents. She could just learn. She's a super learner, but with like skills.
Wow, it's like I said that the first episode, huh?
Yeah,
It's not like he didn't watch the first episode
yeah.
yet.
I
Yeah, you
haven't.
don't watch any of the content. You just edit
I
it.
do. I do.
He
I just
watches the content. I don't watch our content.
the first episode she shot a blaster with never having been trained, but she had just finished watching people shoot a whole bunch of them. Third one, she didn't never had seen how to track, and all of a sudden she's following Hunter around, and now she's able to do it just as well as he is.
To
And
some extent. Not
to
completely,
some
but to
extent,
some
yeah,
extent.
no, she's definitely not has experience or his just enhancements, but she's able to track.
Yeah,
It's,
mimicry or enhanced learning would probably be up there. So
um, I don't think she did anything the fourth episode that would have helped me. But the one thing that I do remember is that the fourth episode seemed to pull a lot from episode 2, the Clone Wars movie, particularly the chase where Anakin and Obi were chasing the one assassin that tried to get Padme. It seemed to draw a lot from that with just the chase and the car chasing.
yeah, with the chase scene and the
Mhm.
The
taxi and all that.
assassin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the assassin herself, just this female assassin. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I feel like it's like similar helmet shape or whatever. just similar design, not copied or same, just similar enough where it seemed to have drawn from inspiration. So I enjoyed that.
Well, there is a theory going on, but I won't get into that.
Is the theory that they're the same person?
No, not even close. Because remember, she died in episode 2.
Died. Yeah.
She did. She did. She did. So I was gonna say, first 2 I would rate an 8. It started the show off really good, even though it was like, a 70-minute first episode. That threw me for a loop. 75-minute first episode. Yeah, very good though. This one, I would give that like an 8, and I would give this like a 6.5. It's just normal episode. Good episodes, but normal.
Near you, Zach. Do you remember the episodes enough now?
I remember enough of them. The only difference in my mind is Wrecker being hit in the head like 30 different times, and then Crosshair killing a lot of people. Or was that in the same episode? They were different? Alright, perfect. I
Crosshair
remember
3, Wrecker, kind
Well,
of
Wreck-
3 and 4.
4 really didn't do much with it. Well, except that one part where he was head slammed into that wall. But other than
Yeah.
that, it really wasn't much to do with his head.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
that
there
one
was the
scene.
ship crash, and then there was the assassin sort of just one-shotting him.
You know, all
And
I
then
need
him
from
complaining
this,
the whole episode later just
all
about it.
all I need from this is a Toy Story moment where it's like, use your head.
You are a toy!
That's not
That's all
the
I
scene you were talking about, but okay.
It's
I
not,
can just
but
imagine the rest of the Bad Batch just sort of picking up Wrecker and just, battering ram him.
that would be hilarious.
That would be funny.
I have to say, Wrecker is my favorite.
Yes.
Wrecker is my favorite of the Bad Batch at the moment.
Jeez.
Uncle Wrecker is my favorite.
I give it an 8.
All right. I don't think I can add anything else constructive to this conversation without getting into spoiler territory. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do similar to you, Jack. I'm going to give it a lower rating. I'm going to give it an 8 because it is more filler. Yeah, okay. Now we are getting into spoiler territory. So you have been warned.
So I do have a question. Do you think Crosshair felt guilt after he got back? Well, not guilt, but longing to be back with the team when he got back, looked at the wall, and to see the scratch mark or tally marks for all the successful missions?
I would say yes and no because the chip is also still messing with his head because
Exactly.
he completely went full Luke's uncle and aunt right there and like just completely massacred everybody that was a part of whatever. Didn't care who they were.
I
Like,
would say it's more like nostalgia and just kind of like a
Okay.
why could they not follow orders sort of thing. More like remorseful for them. Like I miss them sort of thing. We were a good team, but like, hey, it's on them. They weren't good soldiers because good soldiers follow orders.
yeah,
But
that's a good point,
that's the
too.
chip. That's the chip.
Personal feeling with that. I have mixed feelings about it because I think, yes, the chip is saying good soldiers follow orders. He doesn't, as if he's given an order, he's going to carry out no matter what because he's a good soldier. However, I think he's enough of a mutant clone where if he's not given an order, he goes back to old Crosshair.
Yeah, which
As
is what
soon
we
as that
talked about
order
last time too.
triggers him, he's automatically into that mind frame. So I think when he goes back to the room, he's sort of on the fence of back to who he old was.
Okay.
A little bit
and
different from Andrew, where it's more of a remorseful, good soldiers follow orders kind of thing. I think he's trying to fight it, but in the same sense, he's not winning.
Yeah.
It's peeking out. Sort of like the whole Get Out thing, where you see the window box and you want to do something, but you can't.
I was thinking like it's kind of just you're coming back to a place with like a lot of good memories, but everyone who you made the memories with is gone.
Or
So it's
changed.
the same, but it's so different, and it kind of just looked like a heavy feeling. I don't know if it has a word for it. Just kind of a man. It's different.
And another thing I find very interesting is I like how they're setting up how the Empire became sort of a more ruthless government by using Crosshair as an example. His whole Tarkin saying, if we have one of Crosshair training all these soldiers, they're going to become ruthless because good soldiers follow orders. Crosshair proved that, saying, you want to know why I put me in charge? Well, screw you, and just popped him in the head and said, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we will say Crosshair apparently didn't train them because after this, all clones missed their target. So,
Well, they're human now. Clones bred
Well,
from war. I think with Crosshair sort of training them, and if they continue that line of thought using clones as sort of commanders while they're
which they
under
do in
control.
Legends as well with Commander Cody.
Yeah,
Example.
so I think that explains the ruthlessness of why Imperials become so diehard dead. Andrew, it looks like you had something to say.
No, I was just thinking about the evolution of the Empire. Now how there's a lot of things that we're seeing now that I haven't like thought of before. Because I've known that galactic credits, Republican credits, and Imperial credits, like we're not compatible. In a lot of places, like we're not taking those here because they jumped on the Empire train. But I'd never thought about like how that went about, and I do love kind of the come get your register number, even though that is very reminiscent of Nazi Germany. And that that was the very first thing I thought of with everybody
Yeah.
getting a number and registry, even though they're saying it's for census and everything, which I mean I guess is kind of like our social security numbers now.
Well, if you really think about it, those Imperial codes are probably the most diabolical thing Emperor Palpatine has actually done. He's able to put a tracker on every single person in the world, and if they don't have one, they can't move. If they try to move, they're dead. They're done.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. It doesn't look as bad as it is, but in big view, it's pretty. Wow.
It's your passport. It's your government ID. You can't go anywhere without it.
Exactly.
But it's cool to see like the way stations to like transfer your credits with zero cost, and how heavy the propaganda was. And it wasn't like this is a dictatorship, you are now under imperial rule. It's a join the glorious reign of the new empire, and how they were winning over people and not just conquering how it had seemed before.
Exactly.
It was definitely a mix, but we saw the other side now.
And that's one thing I am kind of enjoying with the Bad Batch is sort of seeing both sides. Because the view on the Imperial side is a little bit more eye-opening to what they actually did.
I love how they're making us hate Crosshair. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
At first we're like, oh, he's a team member. No, he's got a chip. No. And now I'm just like, I don't care. Don't care. I mean, I didn't care first episode. I am quick to dislike villains if they have bad character flaws or just like are a bad person. And
I mean, even like before Chip, Crosshair was kind of a
yeah,
sneaky, uptight guy, but
yeah,
there was reason for that.
yeah. And
Now
now
to
it's
deal
just
with
like,
Wrecker. That's
I know it's going to be there. We're going to get a couple of showdowns where it's very emotional, and it's going to be things like Crosshair, no, it's us. And he's like, I don't care. And he's going to start shooting at him. And they're going to say something and pull something out. And it's going to like get to him, bypass the chip. It's going to be some sort of emotional thing.
See, I don't think that's how it's going to go down. I think when the team finds Crosshair, vice versa, it's going to become a standoff. It's not going to be mushy gushy stuff unless they can like tase him or something. But no, I think it's going to be straight up Western showdown kind of style.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's going to be different. I think it's going to be Wrecker's going to end up going a little bit nutso due to Chip. And so you're going to have an Imperial Wrecker. However, they're not going to catch it first thing because, like Jack said, it's based on orders. Whereas if it's not an order, it goes right back to Wrecker, old Wrecker. So what I think they're going to end up doing is finding Rex, which we know he does end up showing up later on due to the trailer of the series. They're going to end up needing to find Rex, get the chip out of Wrecker, and then realize that they have the way to get the chip out safely and then try to get it out of Crosshair. Granted, I think with Crosshair, he's going to have more of a PTSD due to the chip, which was shown somewhat in Wolf and Gregor in Rebels. So he's going to be a little bit wonky. He's not going to go back to the original Crosshair, but he's going to be better than what he is now.
See, I don't think he'll have like the super PTSD to it though.
Well,
The reason I say that is because yes, Wolf and Gregor are very good like cases of it.
Yeah.
But they committed their order killing their Jedi. Whereas Crosshair is
Wolf
just
didn't
looking
really-
after his old teammate.
Well, I mean, Wolf didn't really kill his Jedi. He was I think he was on the ground troops, whereas Captain Jag actually killed Plo Koon.
You're right, yeah, they're in the air and he was on the ground.
And we don't know where Gregor was, but we can assume that the order was put through to him.
That's PTSD because when he was still under control searching for Jedi, they came after him. So he probably has like a oh crap, glowing sword coming at my face. Actually, going to the assassin a little bit, I'm curious on who the contract owner is.
Yeah, because it could be the Kaminoans, it could be the Emperor himself. You have no idea. Now, what people have theorized is she is to Boba Fett what Wessel was to Jango, in a way that is Boba gets the job and then he gives it to Fennec Shand, same way that Jango gets the job and he gave it to Zam Wessel.
Understandable. I'm just curious because you can tell the assassin like almost has like a personal feel to it, to her, trying to
Yeah.
protect the kid and everything, going sort of out of her way because even if it was a capture thing, most of the time there's like a clause in there if they have to be killed, so be it. But
Yeah.
she's going like 14 extra steps to make sure she is safe no matter what.
That could be due to extra pay if she is safe, and probably
Right.
a good hefty pay if
On
she
this
is
note,
safe.
No, I'm kind of worried about Wrecker right now, honestly,
Yeah.
because even with what you said, they're going to find Rex and they're going to figure out how to remove the chip and everything. Back in like I think it was episode 1, didn't they say like their mutations had sort of grown around the chip so much that it's basically nullified?
Yeah, but in the sense that it can also, it's still active, it's just not working on them.
I know. I'm just afraid like their further mutation, especially Wrecker, since he is supposed to be the bolder man,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan going through everything. If his, I don't even say he has a brain in there. He does have one, just all in there. His skull is just going to be formed around it so awkwardly. It's going to be hard to remove. I think that goes for all of them, honestly.
Probably.
Maybe not, because
They
the way
probably
that they
have a
had,
lot of repercussions from
Yeah.
removing their chips rather than just in normal clones.
probably,
Yeah.
but the way that it was shown in the autopsy scan in the first, or the MRI rather, of Crosshair's brain, the chip seemed to be in the same place that it was for Rex.
True.
So I don't think it more so moved it anywhere. I think the mutations just made it so that it was very hard to activate.
That's understandable. Like I said, it was one of those worries I had because I don't want to lose Uncle Wrecker right now.
And I'm pretty
If I
sure
lose
the
Uncle
reason,
Wrecker, I'm
yeah.
done with the show. I don't care.
I think
Well,
everyone
I'm
will
pretty
be
sure
done
you're
with the
gonna
show.
end up. I think you're gonna end up losing Wrecker for maybe an episode, and then he's gonna go back, because I
Sure.
don't think Wrecker is gonna go full. I think the only one that's up in the air is Crosshair. I think Crosshair is either gonna go back, but he's gonna have a problem with his head. He's not gonna completely go back to full Crosshair, which, let's be honest, we didn't get a good episode of where it was completely Crosshair without Order 66 in his head anyway. Or he's gonna be killed. He's gonna be killed trying to do the right thing and fighting off the chip, which honestly I think might end up being a possibility. And even the Imperial route that you talked about last time is still a possibility.
Yeah, like I said, I hate to say this, but I still kind of am hoping for the Imperial route, which is not a positive thing to say, but it's a very interesting thing.
It would be the coolest one, to be honest.
But it'd be the saddest in the same.
Yeah, it would be the saddest. But
Oh, most
it would-
definitely.
And another big like grievance I have was just the show in general. I wish we just had like a straight few episodes of just the Bad Batch doing missions. No Captain Rex, no Jedi, no that. I just want like a full few missions of just them doing their thing.
So that
Oh.
at least you can get an understanding of why they cared so much, or why there's such a cohesive team.
Yeah.
That was episodes 3 and 4 of the Bad Batch. Join us next time when we do episodes 5 and 6 of the Bad Batch. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz. And we will see you next time.
Just make your dreams come true. Nothing is impossible. Make your dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.